The 11th substantive Vice Chancellor of one of Africa's leading and most sought after universities, the University of Benin, Professor Edoba Omorige Essay, took office on 2nd December 2024 amidst pomp and ceremony. On that historic day, family, friends, well wishers, staff, students, and the entire university community turned out in their best and numbers to witness the start of an administration that holds so much promise for the generality of the people. The reasons for the people's enthusiasm are not far fetched. Professor Edoba Morege, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, is the first full alumnus of the university to emerge as Vice Chancellor. He is a homegrown, astute administrator whose grassroots influence holds the potential of bringing all stakeholders together in an inclusive and purpose driven platform. Another major reason for the enormous goodwill towards the administration is Professor Morige's intellectual prowess and experience, garnered in his over 32 years as legal luminary, and who has deployed his expertise at the service of both the University of Benin and the National Assembly, where he served outside of the university as Director of Legislative Support and Services at the National Institute of Legislative and Democratic Studies, NILSDS, NEETS, Abuja, a position he held before assuming office as Vice Chancellor of the prestigious University of Benin. As Professor Edoba Morege took the oath of office, it was with immense confidence on his path and other members of the university community that he is well positioned and ready to deliver the dividends of good governance and education and knowledge acquisition to the people.
And affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that as Vice Chancellor of the University of Benin, I will discharge my duties and perform my functions honestly to the best of my ability, that I will protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the rules and regulations of the University of Benin. So help me God.
The five-point agenda of the Edoba Omorege administration that he outlined at his inauguration as Vice Chancellor clearly defined and set a tone without equivocation on what Uniben stakeholders will expect in a 5-year tenure. An agenda that is already manifest in these first 100 days. The agenda are outlined as follows: sustaining and strengthening of the university's programs at both undergraduate and postgraduate levels to synchronize with emerging national and global trends, positioning the university as an innovative capacity building and skills acquisition hub across disciplines, professions, and vocations, prioritizing staff and students' welfare, improving infrastructure of the university with special attention to multiple electricity access, functional internet service, conducive hostels and office facilities, alongside environmentally friendly initiatives, forging harmonious relationships with staff and students' unions, and constructive engagement with the immediate neighboring community.
As Vice Chancellor, my vision and mission are to achieve the following. Number one, sustain and improve the degree programs of this university, with special attention being paid to national and emerging global standards. Position the university as a capacity building training hub across various vocations and disciplines, with concomitant improvements in its revenue base, and to attract global attention as a leading capacity building institution. Prioritize students and staff welfare through income and support received from various sources.
Conscious of this five-point agenda, Professor Edoba Omorege essay, hit the ground running by demonstrating his commitment to environmentally friendly initiatives when he planted some rare species of trees supported by his wife and professor of biochemistry, Professor Ehimema Omoyege, at the Vice Chancellor's office and his home faculty, the Faculty of Law.
One 100 days has been very exciting. We've been trying to be very focused on achieving our set goals. The university has a strategic plan. When we have tried to align gender in consonance with the strategic plan. Essentially, since the past 100 days, we try to focus very firmly on the academic profile of the university. The university has been existing for the past 55 years and it has made its mark as one of the top-rate universities in your country. And what we have tried to do is to try to sustain what the university has done and to advance it. In this regard, I will mention that we've taken some steps with respect to postgraduate training. Before I came, we had the School of Postgraduate Studies, which we've now turned into the College of Postgraduate Studies. And that's a significant step. The reason being that now, with college, we have a semi-autonomous part of the university, complete with all the essential things that the college should have, which would include having its own financial arrangements, which will be somewhat independent of the central administration, will have its own general bureaucracy, and then be able to approve even without reference to the vice chancellor. And the whole idea is to ensure that there's speed in the operation, and also that we're able to have some level of certainty, in payments and other things that require logistically. Very importantly, we now have a clear calendar for postgraduate training, meaning that we know when the postgraduate program commences and when it ends.
During the next few days and weeks after his inauguration, Professor Edoba left no one in doubt that he is prepared to operate a student-centered administration. He visited all the student hostels and their classrooms on the Bowo and Ekelon campuses. He promptly gave directives for the immediate rehabilitation of the hostels found not up to minimum standards and set about providing requisite infrastructure for effective teaching and learning.
Immediately after the inauguration exercise, he started working from that day. I remember vividly part of his agenda that he mentioned is environmental protection, through which he started planting trees, some at the VC's office, some at the Faculty of Law where he works, and some at Ekema campus. And within that week, we started seeing who he is in terms of determination, the zeal, the energy that he wants to put into the progress of this university.
Within this period, he has been able to improve on the welfare of students, because he promised in his 5-point agenda welfare, staff welfare, students welfare, infrastructure, entrepreneurship, and improvement in available infrastructures. For the area of the students, he has been able to improve, bring some improvement in the hostels. Right now, there's regular flow of water in all our hostels. We'll be able to, he has increased the source of water in the hostel. Broken toilets have been replaced within these 100 days in office. He has done very well. And the hostel is fumigated, and many other things that are going on just to make the students to be more comfortable.
He's working hard to make sure that the library moves on smoothly. You can see crowd when you came in. I pray that God will continue to protect him because it's five list of things that I want to do. I pray that God will help him to meet up those five items, five agenda that he promises to do.
As part of his desire to engage with strategic stakeholders across a broad spectrum, Professor Edoba Morige SA visited and interacted with Federal Ministry of Education officials, National Universities Commission officials, officials of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TETFund, the Edo State Government, Office of the National Council on Climate Change, the Registrar, Veterinary Council of Nigeria, Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, and officials of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NELFund, a move that has resulted in the phenomenal increase in enrollment of Uniben students with the fund, a federal government initiative expected to facilitate education opportunities for Nigerian youth. The Uniben Vice Chancellor also paid courtesy visits to the Chairman, Senate Committee on Tertiary Institutions and TED Fund, Senator Muntari Dantuse, and the Minister in charge of the Ministry of Livestock Development, Alhaji Idi Mokhtar Mehar. These visits afforded Professor Morige the opportunity to intimate the stakeholders with his vision for the university and the mission of prioritizing the extension of infrastructure development to the Site B of the institution that has now been extricated from litigations and community crisis.
Even in the academic and in general administration or university, he has done marvelously well because he has set certain things in motion. For example, the postgraduate school is he moved it from a school to a college because he sees that the postgraduate school as avenue whereby he can step up the research output of the university. It's making it a semi-autonomous arm of the university, and currently, before now, the postgraduate school has been experiencing some challenges, but right now there's a timetable, so we are expecting that going forward there will not be hitches with respect to the postgraduate school. And so, apart from postgraduate school, in terms of administration, in terms of the various centers, it has made some changes. For example, before now, we're having issues with the transcript. Most of the alumni, there'll be a lot of complaint with respect to the period, the timeline for issuance of transcript. But currently, he had to make serious changes in the transcript section. Now we have a directorate for exams and record, and so which is being headed by professor, and so he has given them a mandate that transcripts should not go beyond 1 week. So, and we are beginning to see improvement in the timeline for issuance of a transcript. So he has done so much, even within a very short time. And for those of us that are privileged to work with him, it has been a challenging time.
This is a man that has a flair for transparency and accountability and excellence in whatever he does. I'm not even talking about his tenacity of purpose, his aggressiveness towards meeting the targets for which he has set for everybody to do. He has, to a very large extent, carried every one of us along to make sure that his 5-point agenda is accomplished within a very short time, to a very large extent, in the first 100 days in office. Our expectation is that the foundation that was laid by other vice chancellor which is trying to build on, that he raises it up beyond that, those levels that he met the university when he came on board. That is, he's doing very well through the 5-point agenda. I have no doubt in my mind that those expectations will be met at the end of the day.
He's consolidating on the gains of the university from the past achievements, and is breaking new grounds in different areas, particularly fostering healthy community relationship, staff, students, management and students, communities around, with the community and many other communities that are around us, Kosodin and all the rest of them. Particularly for those very close to Site B, the Uteh community, the Fosa community, that hitherto felt that the university was the enemy. The university has fostered very good relationship with them. And then Site B, that was regarded as a no-go area, is now a place that the university is focusing on.
Throughout this 100 days in office, it has been an amazing tenure. Being that I'm an executive in the hostel, and then seeing how past administration worked on the hostel, but he improved on what she has done. Firstly, we came back to the hostel and all the dark areas became suddenly lighted. The bathrooms and the toilets, everything, they maintained them. Bathtubs in the hostel, everything was actually fixed. Like, a lot of things were done, a lot of things that has actually impacted the students positively.
Even me as a student, I've actually felt the impact from policies, advocating for students' welfare, student rights being heard, always holding meetings with students' union government, and even lecturers and management. They've changed a lot of systems and structures, improving on what has been there before, laid during the last administration. His new administration obviously set a new standard, and within this short period of time, I'm sure that if he continues on this trajectory, he's obviously setting the standard for something greater and mightier.
A grateful heart in action, they say, attracts more benevolence. Leading some members of management on a thank you visit to Lagos, Professor Edoba Morige SA met with Nigeria's elder statesman, General Theophilus Danjuma, GCON, and his wife, Senator Daisy Danjuma, who had earlier gifted 3 ultra-modern solar-powered female hostels to the university. In acknowledging the Vice Chancellor's visit, the couple promised a further donation of 2 main hostels to the University of Benin as part of their support of Professor Morige's administration and service to humanity. Other persons of goodwill, alumni, and corporate bodies have in these first 100 days of Professor Edoba's Omorige's stewardship supported the university in one form or the other.
We have to be thankful to our friends of the university, those who have been very helpful to the growth of this university. In particular, I want to mention Senator Daisy Danjuma. She's been very wonderful. She's built many hostels for us, and she has committed to building more. I want to continue to pray that God grant her all her heart desire. In addition, we want to thank the institutional support we have got from TEDFund, from PDC, and from many others here and there, alumni who have built facilities for us, installing solar systems for American hostels. We got borehole developments from LG.
Significant, the first 100 days of the young, energetic, and purpose-driven 11th Vice Chancellor of the University of Benin have been marked with unprecedented vibrancy, with the pouring in of visitors eager to support the administration with their ideas.
We believe with you on the aim of affairs, we will have no regret. Your leadership within this short period has created a very big and positive impact on the student community. We want to appreciate you for your commitment to academic excellence, student welfare and development, and infrastructural development. We know with you, as our shepherd, our sheep will definitely get fatter and fatter because you are a daddy.
As the months and years unfold in this tenure of 5 years, there are pointers to success and monumental advancement of the university in academic and infrastructure development, as well as in community service.